Process Safety Management, Contractor Responsibilities. Purpose. The purpose of Process Safety Management, PCM, is to prevent or minimize consequences of catastrophic releases of toxic, reactive, flammable, or explosive chemicals in various industries such as refineries. The requirements of a Process Safety Management Program as outlined in 29 CFR 1910.119. Plaas Incorporated employees will perform work at the job sites that are covered by this standard. Therefore, the purpose of this written program is to ensure that our employees are trained in the practice necessary to conduct their work at PCM-covered work sites and to ensure they abide by the safe work practices of the employers that hire us to perform various jobs. General. Contractors under this Process Safety Management Program are those who are involved in the installation or maintenance of equipment and systems at a facility that has one of the following. 1. A process which involves a chemical at or above the specified threshold quantities listed in Appendix A to this section. 2. A process which involves a flammable liquid or gas as defined in 1910-1200 on site in one location in a quantity of 10,000 pounds, 35.9 kilograms, or more, except for A. Hydrocarbon fuels used solely for workplace consumption as a fuel, example, propane used as a comfort heating, gasoline for vehicle refueling. If such fuels are not part of a process containing another highly hazardous chemical covered by this standard. B. Flammable liquids stored in atmospheric tanks or transferred which are kept below their normal boiling point without benefit of chilling or refrigeration. As contractors covered under the PCM program, we will be provided necessary information concerning the hazardous process, equipment, and procedures of the particular job site our employees are working at. Specific requirements. Pre-work review. Prior to allowing Plaas Incorporated employees to commence work in a process covered under PCM, the following requirements must be completed by the PCM company we will be doing work for. Obtain and evaluate information regarding Plaas Incorporated safety performance and programs, written documentation required. Inform Plaas Incorporated site foreman or other designated Plaas Incorporated employees of the known potential fire, explosion, or toxic release hazards related to the work area and processes of the company. Explain the applicable provisions of the Emergency Action Plan to Plaas Incorporated employees. Provide the site foreman with copies of local safety programs, safety and emergency procedures, and a copy of the PSM program. Complete all the requirements of the company's contractor liability agreement. Inform Plaas Incorporated that a periodic performance evaluation will be conducted to ensure our employees are fulfilling our obligations. Inform Plaas Incorporated that a contract employee injury and illness log related to our work in process areas must be maintained on site for the duration of the contract work. Plaas Incorporated will provide information to the contract employer relating to any unique hazards presented by our employees' work or any hazards found by our employees. Training. Prior to the start of any work at a facility covered under the PSM standard, Plaas Incorporated will ensure that each employee is trained in the work practices necessary to safely perform his or her job. Plaas Incorporated will provide the following documentation to each PCM-covered facility that we will be performing work at. Our safety program information and other documentation required by the company's Contractors Liability and Safety Agreement. Certification that we have informed our employees of potential fire, explosion, or toxic release hazards that may exist at or near their work area at the facility, and that we have explained the company's emergency action plan to our employees. Material safety data sheets will be used to discuss process safety information for the particular site we will be working at. Training documentation concerning training provided to our employees to ensure they understand the safe work necessary to safely perform tasks. Certification that we have explained the hot work permit program of the company we are working for and other permits the company uses that will be needed during their time on company property. Agreement to advise the company where we are working for of any unique hazards presented by our work and found during our work. Certification that materials, parts, and equipment to be installed meet industry and engineering standards for the application used. Plaas Incorporated will assure that our employees have been instructed in known potential fire, explosion, or toxic release hazards related to his or her job. The site foreman will be responsible for ensuring that each employee has received and understood the required training. Training will be documented and will consist of the employee's name, the date of training, the means used to verify that the employee understood the training. Safe work practices. Plaas Incorporated employees will be required to abide by PCM employer safety work practices during operations such as lockout, tagout, confined space entry, opening process equipment or piping, and controls over entrance to the facility. Safe work practices will be covered during site-specific training courses. Training will be documented. Hot work. Before cutting or welding is permitted at a work site, the area must be inspected by the individual responsible for authorizing cutting and welding operations at the company we are performing work for. Plaas Incorporated employees will not be allowed to perform hot work until a hot work permit is obtained from the employer's designated representative. The permit shall document that provisions of CFR 1910.252A have been met. See the hot work written program for more information about safe work practices. Incident investigations. Employees must immediately report all incidents, injuries, and near misses to their site foreman, who will then notify the correct company individuals. An incident investigation must be initiated within 48 hours. Resolutions and corrective actions must be documented and maintained for 5 years. Trade secrets. Plaas Incorporated employees must respect the confidentiality of trade secret information when any process safety information is released to them.